My wife is a miner's wife, hey, hey. My wife is a miner's wife, hey, hey. My wife is a miner's wife, worried too much of her life. Somebody tell the Lord what's going on. But a miner works his day towards hell anyway. A miner works his days towards hell anyway. A miner works his days towards hell until we ring his death knell. Somebody tell the Lord what's going on. Now his knees are spent and his lungs are going bad. His knees are spent and his lungs are going bad. His knees are spent, his lungs are bad, spitting image of his dad. Somebody tell the Lord what's going on.
Bituminous coal is also known as soft coal, and it's found throughout the hills and valleys of western Pennsylvania and northern Pennsylvania. It was discovered as an industrial resource as early as the late 1700s, but it really wasn't until the 1800s that immigrants from Europe especially started being employed in the process of mining this resource and getting it to market. Now, bituminous coal is a sedimentary rock, and it's found for the most part in flat horizontal beds. So the trick to mining soft coal or bituminous coal is getting into those horizontal beds, making an undercut, drilling holes to set your shots into the coal, which are then going to loosen the coal and bring that coal down and make it so you can shovel it out. So the first step that you would have had these early miners doing in the 1800s is using a miner's pick and laying on their side to get that undercut made. After the undercut is made underneath the vein of coal, your next step in the process is going to be to drill holes into the face of the coal. And in those holes, you're going to place your explosives. Now, in the early days, it would have been black powder, and later it was dynamite. And once those charges go off, it's going to drop that coal into the void that you've done with your undercut, and that's what's going to break the coal up and break it into chunks that can then be sent down and either used to make into coke or used as furnace coal or whatever it may be. So the next step in the process would have been to get your miner's drill and drill your way into the coal. So now in that hole, we're going to set our explosive. And throughout most of the 1800s, the explosive was a black powder charge wrapped in wax paper. And the tool we're going to use to tamp that back in the hole is called our tamping bar. Now our black powder charge is all the way in the back of that hole. But if we detonate the explosion right now, all that explosion is just going to shoot out of the hole and be wasted. And that's not what we want. We want our explosion to break up this coal. So in that hole, we're going to place our needle. And now we're going to take handfuls of clay and dirt off the mine floor and pack it and tamp it back in that hole. And now we're going to carefully withdraw the needle. Now, instead of a real big hole going back to our explosive, we have a very small hole. And what that's going to allow us to do is put our squib or our fuse up in that hole. And when we detonate the charge, the explosion will be trapped and break this coal loose. So now we take our squib. Now, we're going to have to do this several times. So we're going to have explosives set throughout the face of this breast. And when we're ready to detonate, we have to give the warning out to all the other miners that we're about to detonate the explosives. Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!